vibration in this room today. Every Sunday is just a wonderful thing to just be always surprised and how the energy just shifts around. There's just a lot of love in this room today, and I appreciate it, and I'm bathing in it, so I'm very, very grateful. So the title of our talks today and our message is In Search of a Miracle. And I was saying to somebody the other day that I consider myself a seeker. Some of you probably consider yourself seekers. But I think our time has arrived to become finders. And it is time. And it's scary to sometimes be a finder. Because once you found it, you're no longer looking for it. It's here, and then what are you going to do? You're going to have to take action. Yeah? Sometimes. Albert Einstein. I like to call him Al, but he says there are only, with famous quote, right? There are two ways to live your life. One is though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though. And that's what this whole teaching is about choice. You have one or the other, or you can choose both, I guess. But it's your choice. And if I had never received anything out of this teaching, that is the biggest thing that I have, is that I have a choice in every single moment of my life about what I think and what I want to show and reveal and to be. So I love this whole idea of miracles because it does remind me, every time that song is sung, I always go back to that little boy that lives inside of me, that all of you have met on several occasions. And I was thinking of Hanukkah. I didn't want to leave Hanukkah out this year. And every year I'm very hesitant about speaking about, Hanukkah or even, the Hawaiian culture, to come and act like I know about it. So I sometimes stand back from it. But every year, my exploration of it, I get a little gem. So this year I said, I really want to feel something new this year. And so I am going to read it, because if I don't, then they'll think that then somebody will come up to me and they'll say, no, that's not exactly how it is. And that might be, but this is written from the text. So anyway, sometimes it's called the Feast of Dedication. Hanukkah is commonly interpreted as meaning a dedication in Hebrew. More commonly, it's referred to as the Festival of Lights or Feast of Lights. The tradition of lighting the menorah during Hanukkah is done to commemorate the story of a miracle. And then it goes on to say Hanukkah means dedication. The 8-day holiday celebrates rededication, is what I'm going to like to talk about today, of the Temple of Jerusalem after it was retaken by the Maccabees, a group of Jewish warriors from the Greeks that took it in the 2nd century BCE, before Common Era. Who knew? I used BC for many, many years, but that changed. What the big word that I'm seeing here that really stood out to me this time is the rededication. And to really take a look at my life and say, not just during 8 days, what am I dedicated to? What am I dedicated to in my life? What am I rededicating myself to? And that's what I did this morning when I was in meditation. I said, I want to rededicate myself to life. And the miracle is that they only expected the oil and the lamps to last a day, or something around those times. You ever see that? When we look at the appearances and say, oh, we've only got enough for a day. And then someone says, but maybe not. Maybe there's a miracle. Maybe 8 days. Maybe a year. And I thought of this temple that I believe I am, and that each and every one of us is, this incredible temple that we have been given, not only the body, but the ethereal temple of life itself. And how sometimes it feels as though the oil is burning out, or there won't be enough. And then that's when fear comes in and says, look. There's not enough. There's not enough. And then what happens is faith steps in and says, excuse me, there is more than enough. Because I am that light that will never, ever, ever go out. What if we were to rededicate our lives and celebrate the life that continues to burn within us every single moment? Wow, that's a miracle, wow. Yeah. And I finally just really embraced myself. I have a lot of friends that celebrate Hanukkah, and they say, well, yeah, we do it for the kids. And, they have kind of a different take on it. But I'm taking on it that, wow, this incredible temple that we are, no matter what kind of shape it's in, by the way, it doesn't always have to have diamonds and things, even though I would like all of that. I like the, I'm sure if you know me by now, I kind of like a little pizzazz, I'm kind of low-keyed, if you've ever noticed that. So I put on Facebook the other day about miracles are deliberate intentions activated by belief and set into motion by love. And it was wonderful today because I was asked a beautiful question about, well, what happens about the miracles that are not intended, you're not thinking of it, or there's not a belief attached to it, but they happen, right? Wow, that was a miracle. And I love questions like that, and I really appreciate it because what it does for me is it allows me to explain myself to myself. Have you ever done that? We put a lot out there, and that information's out there, but have I ever taken some time to really explain it to myself? And what I realize is I've had many miracles that I did not supposedly intend. This morning when I woke up, I intended to wake up, but I never really think about it much. But boy, if I thought about it, the opposite of that, it would be very different. And so how I answered this is that even though it may appear that we're not knowing what we're intending or what's showing up, there is a part of us that knows everything. And even though it might be a surprise, what I do know is that there is a part of us that always knows what's going on, and that there is a universe that is always conspiring in my favor. Always. That's a Christmas wish and Christmas knowing. To know that I am the peacemaker. If I intend to have no wars, I can't have this war within myself or the war with one another. I love it when you all behave and my world behaves the way I like you to. It is so easy to wrap myself in faith when you behave. But boy, when you don't, I have to really work hard because I have to get back to being right. Ever been there? Sorry. All of a sudden you're like, oh, ow, ooh. Don't do it, Patrick, don't do it. Ernest Holmes, I throw one in too, and I love this. Because we fail to realize that principle is not bound by precedent, we limit our faith to that which has already been accomplished. Oof. Judge not by appearances. Master Jesus, boy, he had that one down. If you're judging by appearances, we're in trouble. Ernest Holmes goes on to say, when we limit our faith at which has already been accomplished, few miracles result. Because all we're doing is using the past references to move forward. When through intuition, faith finds its proper place under divine law, there are no limitations, and what are called miraculous results follow. Wow. The miracle of Hanukkah, the miracle of me just standing here breathing. Isn't this amazing when I think of it? Wow. That's the miracle. The miracle is I get the opportunity to love. This time of year, a lot of loss comes up. Excuse me. A lot of loss comes up with people we've lost or our beautiful fur babies. And I have a different way of looking at loss. I don't know if it's different, but I love to think I'm unique. Loss to me is such a gift because it means I dared to love. And love so deep that you don't even know if you can take your next breath. But it is so worth it. It's worth every moment to say, I love you so much that the loss, and not just a loss of transition, but the loss of marriages, the loss, I wasn't looking at Rita, like, oh, that was a delightful moment. Not just death, the loss of marriage. Whoa, no. See what she did? She's good. She is good. She says, see this. No. And then what I do is I just demonstrate another pair. It's like a magic show going on here today. But that's even in marriages or anything that we lose. We lose when our self-esteem. We lose when we get scared and nervous. And that's why I love Sharon too. I talk to this young man about that all the time. It's okay to be scared. You know, getting up here and singing, we were talking about that. We love to do it, or people love to do it, but it's on that list of, the 10 top scariest things to do. And so I know that sometimes when we try and we leap out to try something new and to embrace the miracle, that we're going to be scared. I know that I would love to be able to tell you this. I will tell you it. It's not the truth, but I will tell you if you want to, that when you move into anything that you desire or you want in life, you'll never be afraid. What's the gift of it is that you did it anyway. And no matter what the result of it is, my thing about the cheap seats, man. If you're sitting in the cheap seats, I'm not interested in your feedback. If you're in the arena with us, we're all singing together in this thing called life. And that we can actually do. I think it's important to remember for me is that if we walked, I said this to Rita today, I said, what if I walk through life really literally as the miracle? That knowing that I'm standing in front of you today and that you're looking at a miracle. And I'm looking back at you and you're a miracle. There won't be anything that we can't do. What I love, and I said this the other day about this teaching, and it's not the only teaching in the world. It should be, but it's not. No, what I love about it is, here's another truth thing that's going to come out before I step away, is that when you get religious science down, science of mind down, when you get the mysticism down, things don't just go away. I know it would be wonderful to walk and they say, look there's conflict. And then it goes away. No, what it tells me is that when it comes up and when it comes in my face and when I don't think I can handle it, or when I lose something, or I'm hurt, or I'm everything's scared, all of it, I have something I can depend on. I can depend on a principle that says, I am that I am. And you're never alone, even if you feel it. And you can move mountains. And I always think that's hysterical because I would just go around it. I don't have a lot of time to move mountains. When you can walk around, it's like walking on water. Why would I do that? I can take a boat. The only reason I'd be walking on water is to prove that I am more than everyone in the room, right? No. Yeah. Let's say it together. Wow. 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 I am complete. Namaste.